Can you believe that so long after their breakup, Tiffany Haddish is still hungover, Common?
The internet is going crazy right now.
Oh, because I commented?
Because you commented.
I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm out of order, I don't know. But my ex is with somebody, and he was on a radio show, he was on like Breakfast Club talking about it.
This is a really healthy and beautiful relationship, bro. If I'm going to get married, it's to her.
Wow. And all I said was, I'm so happy for them. I hope they get married. Mm-hmm. That's it. And then the shade room ran with that, and then like everybody got something to say.
And still talking about how he be blowing up her DMs.
Did end up actually dating a dude for a little bit. Anyways.
He about to blow up your DM.
He stay blowing them up anyway. I don't pay attention anyway. So moving on.
Tiffany Darling, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. It's time to move on, because it's beginning to look like Common accidentally signed a 10-year emotional lease when y'all date. Oh, well, if you are wondering why a babe won't just move, allegedly Common has the answer to that. And you can bet it's not because he had the best skills in the bedroom, because Jaguar Wright already said that in between the sheets is not his stronghold. Not my words, guys, not my words.
And think about it. All of the celebrity tale, you ain't never heard one of these talk about how dope he was in bed.
See, Jag even said that John Legend and Common need to stop pretending and just admit what's going on, which is that he is into men, and that he and John Legend are really just waiting for Chrissy Teigen to go too far with the plastic surgery and end up looking like Jacko so that they can finally move in together and start making musicals. According to her, both Common and Legend would rather spend time together than with any of these women. She also said that she just wishes that people would know the real truth about Common, which, according to her, is that he doesn't love black women because all he does is use them socially, and he is always clout chasing at the expense of the women. So maybe Tiffany is just one of the pawns on his chessboard, and now he's out here literally making her look crazy. Anywho, allegedly, Common has been saying behind the scenes that Tiffany's obsession is getting out of hand, and that she won't leave him alone because she's a weirdo who is obsessed with him. Apparently, Common thought when he started dating Tiff, he was entering a cute, low-key Hollywood romance, and instead, he signed up to be standard material in her stand-up set for the next decade, and he is reportedly tired of it. So, just for a bit of background, Tiffany and Common met and started dating while filming the 2019 movie The Kitchen, and they appeared to be pretty happy. In fact, according to Tiffany, the relationship she had with Common was hands down the best she had ever had. Unfortunately, around the time she was hoping for a proposal, Common decided to dip and break up with Tiffany, and then blamed their split on their busy schedules and said that the decision was mutual. However, a month later, Tiffany revealed that she was blindsided by Common's remarks. She actually told Jason Lee that she was hurt by his response. Tiffany also added that while she was happy with Common, he thought the relationship had run its course, and even stopped inviting her out to some milestone events that, as his girl, she should have been invited. Apparently, Tiffany missed the hint that he was growing apart from her, and she said he eventually called her on the phone and ended the almost 2-year relationship.
He might be the type of person that never like really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower. I don't know. I wish him nothing but joy and happiness.
See, even though Common tried to be kind with his words, Tiffany said that the decision was not mutual, and these were her exact words. It wasn't mutual. It was more him saying, "I think this relationship has run its course." And I was like, okay, like you gonna be a 50-year-old single man, okay? She also basically added that Common had abandoned her, saying, "I'm a pretty positive person, and I'm here to have an experience. I would love to have a partner to experience it with. But also, I guess I've been alone for so long, and so used to being abandoned, I expect it." Which is sad, right? Let's just say that since then, Tiffany has been talking about Common non-stop, and even shaded Jennifer Hudson when she started dating Common.
Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave those to Jennifer.
So the obsession has really been immense, and insiders are revealing that Common has been saying that Tiffany won't leave him alone because she's a weirdo who is probably using hard stuff and maybe has a bit of mental issues. Allegedly. Well, when we talk about Tiff being a weirdo, even I have to admit that some of the things she has done and said are just mental. Like, who in the world calls themselves a peniotologist and randomly collects photos of men's genitalia on dates?
When I was younger, anytime I would go on a date, I would ask a guy if I could see his penis.
Right.
And then I would pull out my disposable camera and I'll ask him, "Can I take a picture of your penis?" I'm like, "I don't want your face or anything. I just want to remember your penis." and they be holding it in their hand, and then from their hands you can see like dirty nails, dirty dick.
There's also literally a video of Tiffany Haddish that made rounds, where she was screaming Shakira's name and running after her at the VMAs that had everyone saying that she has completely lost it and is probably on some pretty hard stuff.
Shakira!
She ain't stopping for you. Shakira, you gotta turn around, baby.
It's how Shakira ignored all the screaming for me. And when we talk about other things she has done, there's also a time when Tiff and Aries Spears were sued by siblings who used the pseudonyms John and Jane Doe for taking advantage of them. The two said that their mother had been friends with Tiffany for most of their lives, and in 2013, they said a then 14-year-old Jane and a then 7-year-old John were used by Tiffany in disgusting skits she filmed. Apparently, and allegedly, Tiffany told their mom she was taking them to auditions, when in reality, she was having them film skits that were highly inappropriate. Jane Doe alleged that Tiffany persuaded her to film a suggestive video for the skit when she was just 14 years old, and John Doe claimed Tiffany and Aries took advantage of him when he was 7 years old while filming the Funny or Die video. Guys, this is someone who was also accused of pushing an undocumented young woman into the adult movie world and then physically roughing her before trying to get her deported by reporting her to immigration enforcement. And Tiffany was even the one giving us the details of what she did.
I ended up like because he had her like stripping and doing porn. So I ended up taking her from him, and basically I became her agent and had her doing porn and getting
beautiful way to say it.
And she was getting more money or whatever. I was like, so I ended up getting kind of involved in like the porn world, but I wasn't in porn, but I was providing the talents.
What was
for
that like?
It was
Short-lived, long-lived?
very short-lived.
Oh.
Very short-lived. I ended up beating her up, and
Oh wait, like physically?
yeah, I ended up stomping her out.
What was that?
And I
like?
called immigrations on her and tried to get her deported.
Stop.
I know, crazy. And to think that she was saying this stuff herself. Yikes. And let's not forget that Tiffany has also been accused of being a compulsive liar. For instance, in her biography, The Last Black Unicorn, she paints her unnamed ex-husband as a stalker and the possible reason for the death of their unborn baby. But William Stewart said the book was full of lies. While Tiffany never mentions William Stewart by name, he's the only person she's ever been married to, making him easily identifiable. And in a lawsuit he filed against Tiffany, he said that she lied. The book said that he was to blame for the death of their unborn baby, but he fired back in the lawsuit, claiming they lost the child because Tiffany went to the doctor to have it terminated. By the way, in the book, Tiff actually revealed she got revenge on an ex who had cheated on her and filmed an intimacy tape with another woman. Tiffany says that she pretended she wanted to get back together with him and went over to his house and gave him back his Air Jordans. Except there was a surprise in the shoes. She had defecated in the shoes. As if that wasn't enough, she had a bootlegger slice the private tape footage and sent it to members of his family. Now, imagine being in Common's shoes, dating someone like this, and these are some of the things you have to witness every time. And years after breaking up, the same person can't stop mentioning you in conversations. I mean, it's giving obsession, right? Okay. But then, on the other hand, I wouldn't entirely blame Tiffany, because we are also talking about someone who, other than J. Hud and Tiffany, has been with half of Hollywood. At a certain point, when the common denominator in a decades-long trail of broken hearts is literally named Common, we have to stop looking at the women and start looking at the man. I mean, Common was in his first public relationship with Kim Jones, and they even had a daughter together, but they split when their daughter was just a year old. Then, from 2000 to 2002, Common was in a relationship with Erykah Badu, and they even collaborated on some songs. In 2005, Common dated Taraji P. Henson, and these two kept their relationship largely private, but after this, he was also with Serena Williams. Then, after Serena Williams, Common also dated Angela Rye, and there have also been other women here and there like Ava DuVernay, Jaguar Wright, and even Chadwick Boseman's widow, Simone. And these are just the famous ones. I know that there have been other women and allegedly even men, and every time he breaks up with these women after a maximum of 2 years, he speaks in a gentle, poetic whisper, writes memoirs songs about love, wears cozy turtlenecks, and praises all his exes as queen and incredible human beings on podcasts, making love look like a spiritual retreat. See, most of his exes are far too protective of their public brand to air out the dirty laundry, and they just smile, say, "He's a good man," and keep it pushing. But then there's Tiffany Haddish, who has zero filter, and because the other women, other than Jaguar of course, have generally said nice things, she comes across as desperate and obsessed. But is Tiff really obsessed? Or she is still offended that Common tried to give her the polished PR breakup treatment when she knew what really went down? Guys, let me know what y'all think about her still mentioning Common in the comments section below.